Oh,
Hi, Marsha. Now, did the both of you spray paint one of your tumblers, or are you just gonna watch tonight? Okay, gotcha, Coretta. So we'll just give it a couple more minutes for others to join, and then we'll get started. Hey, Juanita.
Hi, Regina. How you doing?
I am well, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. So we'll give it till about 7:05 or so, and then we'll get started. So I see others are starting to join in too. So we'll just give them a couple more minutes to let them get in and get situated, and then we'll get started. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I just put a message in there. If you see my camera going on and off, it's because I'm about to get in the car and drive my daughter to basketball.
No worries.
But I'm here.
No worries. And hopefully, I'll be able to upload this Zoom session also to the page. If not, I'll just put it in the free folder so you all can get to it, to go back and review it. So again, we're just waiting a couple more minutes for others to join, and then we'll get started. I see Monica's having a problem connecting to audio. I see there are still two trying to connect to audio.
Hi.
Hi.
I thought she told me she already had a ride home. Well, I still got two heads. I got one, I got a curl, I'm doing one now, and I got a haircut and a style, so she's gonna be waiting.
I'll wait 1 more minute to let others join. If not, we'll go ahead and get started just for the sake of time.
I really can't wait for y'all to fuck this up. See? Thank you. Yeah, don't listen to that, man. You can't keep switching up how we doing shit. Now that I got this, bro. How much we need to get back? Ain't gonna lie, a lot.
Okay, so it's 7:05. We're gonna go ahead and get started, and then others can just see what we're doing too, because it's a repetitive motion, when they join. So hopefully, those of you who are going to actually do this along with me have already spray painted your tumbler. So I've spray painted mine white. Just to show you two prior ones that I did that I still have. These are two that I've done. Now, this one is the output of what, if you have latte color alcohol ink, that is your color that will adhere to your cup. And this color is the espresso. So it's the darker color, and you can still see, you know, the lines of like the bark on the tree as well. Now, these are shiny because after I did the alcohol ink on them, I put a coat of epoxy on top. So I love using epoxy. Just like they say, you put hot sauce on everything, I put epoxy on everything. So you don't have to put epoxy on yours when you're finished. You know, it's totally up to you. But I just like to see a nice shine to it. And then too, if you want to put, you know, somebody's name on it and then cover it with the epoxy, it just makes, to me, it just makes everything look better to me. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So the color that I'm going to use this afternoon is caramel. And so I buy these alcohol inks at Michael's. You can get them at Michael's. Hobby Lobby sells the same brand, and Joanne sells the same brand as well. You can also order these off of Amazon, as well as using the Pinata brand. I use that a lot when I do a lot of my alcohol ink swirls, but you can basically use any brand ink. These are just the ones that I actually use and can show results on. So without further ado, so what we're going to do is, after you shake it, make sure you shake your ink very well, because sometimes it will settle. And I also have my brush. So it does not matter what size brush you get, right? I just use the 1-inch iron bristle brush. You can use one that's thinner, wider, it's up to you. So what we're gonna do is you take your ink and you just put a row across your cup, a row of ink, just across your cup, like that, okay? And then you just take your brush and you just keep brushing the strokes until you cover that section and that ink pretty much has dried, okay? And so you're gonna keep going around, and as you're doing this going around, it's gonna start making the lines to where it looks like it's bark on a tree. So let me just put this down for splatters. So again, I'm just gonna move over a little bit, put some more of the ink down, take my brush, and just keep brushing. And because it's a wider brush, you get more coverage. So therefore, that one section will be, you know, done pretty quickly. And it doesn't take any time actually doing this and getting this around the whole cup. So it just depends on, you know, your speed. I do it while I'm sitting watching TV. So again, I'm just taking the brush and brushing down, just to get it dried on the cup. I don't want it to be wet as I continue to turn around. So you can go up and down, you can go left to right. On one of the prior cups that I did kind of a swirl effect, right? Meaning instead of going just straight up and down, with this one, you can see I kind of went sideways just to give it a little swirl to it. So there are various ways that you can do it on your cup. So for those of you who are doing this right now, how is it working for you? Are you seeing the effect of what the bark, the lines are turning out to be? So is there anyone that has spray painted their cup and actually doing it as I'm doing this one? No? Okay.
Regina, can I ask you a quick question?
Of course.
All right, so because I feel like I missed something along the way. So what type of tumbler is this? Like you spray painted it?
Yes. It was just a metal.
So
this
I
one,
think I'm thinking that it's like a sublimation cup.
Oh, no. Don't use your sublimation products for this. No, so just a regular metal tumbler.
Okay. Yeah.
You don't have to come in the 20 ounce or 30 ounce tumblers. So it's one of those. And
Right.
I
Uh-huh.
spray painted it white, just with regular white flat paint is what I use. And sometimes I'll use
Okay.
a
Okay.
soft tan or soft cream color too, just to give it a different effect with the colors, right? But this one was spray painted white, just the metal. This is the 30-ounce tumbler. But yes, please don't use your
Okay.
sublimation products for it. No, that's a waste. And you can use
Okay.
yes.
Right. Okay.
Right. We spend too much money for those sublimation products. No, we don't want to use those. So, right. So all I'm doing is just spreading it around, just like you're painting a wall or, what have you. And therefore, with the brush being a little wider, you get a little bit more coverage. And so you can start seeing the effects, right? So from the lines of the ink being poured, you can start seeing from how that dries a little bit already. And then you start to paint it down to spread it. And then that gives you your effect a little bit more. So like I said, something that's quick and easy while you're sitting watching TV. This is something you can sit and do. And normally when I'm doing it, if I'm sitting and watching TV or whatever, I just put it in my arm. Therefore, I have it right in front of me, pouring my ink straight down and then spreading it. So this is one where, you can or you don't have to use gloves for, because the ink is going to dry on the cups really quick. So if you put it inside your hand or if you have a holder, then, you don't have to worry about the ink really getting on you. So again, all I'm doing down here at the bottom of the cup, I'm just going back over to make sure that I cover the surface on the bottom here, like around the rim. So we have almost just about half of the cup done already. And once you go over it the first time, if you think, okay, I want it to be a little darker, you can go back over it. Again, it's your preference as far as for how the color comes out, right? So there's no rule to, it has to be super dark or it has to be or look this way or that way. It's however you want it to be. And again, you can use whatever colors for this effect. So yes, we do call it a wood grain tumbler, but as I mentioned before, if you want to use some funky colors, make a funky color cup. So like I say, my favorite color is pink. And eventually I will do one of these in pink, right? Because it'll be for me. So experiment with colors, experiment with your technique. So either going, up and down or trying to do a swirl effect where, you bring it in on an angle. So again, it's your preference for how you want the cups to turn out. And again, all I'm doing is just pouring the ink in a line and spreading it down. And as you spread it, it starts to dry on the cup. So for those of you who may not be actually doing this now, you think this is something that you try, you will actually try? And I'll tell you too, these are good sellers for men, right? Because, I know how we like to use glitter and things like that when we're working on some cups and girly, but I will tell you, I've had it better where men or women have purchased these cups for their spouses or, mates, right? Because it has more of a look of a masculine look for them versus how we normally, create some of our tumblers and things like that with the sparkle effect. So men do love these types of cups. And again, you can put their names on it, any kind of saying on it, you know, with your vinyl, and then go over it in epoxy if you use epoxy. If not, as is.
Get off of me. You better get off me.
And so I'm just about finished
Better.
with this.
Yeah. If I wanted to, I'm not alone. I don't want to get what? Start it again. What? This one's what I want to. It's 2 out of
I'm
luck.
not sure, Patricia, we can actually hear your conversation or your child's conversation.
Thank you. I'll mute it. Sorry.
Okay.
I want chicken bacon.
And so I just have this one little section left from the actual front, or I should say the whole part of the cup. And so
I'm
what
sorry, you
here,
Buffalo. You look at yourself with God. I know.
as you can see, this cup is finished. So from where you pour your ink in the line, on the cup, like in your line, it will start to formulate your dark bark line, right? And then as you spread your ink, or excuse me, spread it with the brush, you'll see you'll have your lighter spots, but at least you have the bark effect. So then you'll want to make sure you do the bottom part of the cup as well. And like I said, as you can see, it takes no time to do this. So, and it's not expensive. You can find tumblers, you know, for $5, like those stainless steel tumblers. I know Michael's sells them. I've even seen them now in my family, or not Family Dollar. My Dollar Tree has started selling, you know, some upscale items, right? And they sell these size tumblers for $5. I've also seen these, like I said, at Michael's. I think they have this size for $5 or $4.99 or something like that. And then they have the bigger sizes like this. I think they're either somewhere between $6.99 and $9.99. But I will also be adding these size tumblers to my my website as well. So the Blanks site. So you can also, you know, if you're in need of tumblers, you can find them on my site also. So I have covered my bottom. So as you've gone through, and you just look around and see, okay, is there any spot on here that I need to touch up, or am I satisfied with the way that the cup looks? And for me, I'm satisfied with this look. And again, this one is caramel. So this color is caramel. And so from this point, you know, I'm just gonna let the cup dry all the way. And if I rub on it, I don't have any alcohol ink on my fingers. It's already dried from the spots that I've covered before. So this little spot that I just finished, you know, will probably be completely dry within 5 minutes. So from here, I would just let it sit overnight. And then if I'm gonna put a name on it or something, then I cut it, you know, cut it out in vinyl and put the name on. And then I'll go ahead and put, you know, just one coat of epoxy over it. And then after that, letting it cure for 3 days from the epoxy effect. And that's it. Then you will have your wood grain tumblers. So again, this color is latte and this color is espresso. And the color that I just did, this is caramel. And so you can see how it has the lines in it. And I'll turn it over too, so you can see a little bit better. It makes it look like, you know, the bark of a tree. Therefore, it's a wood grain effect. And the bottom has been covered as well.
So Regina, it's Jackie again. I have a quick question for you. What if you don't put epoxy over it? What's the finish like on that?
So I will tell you, if you're not going to put epoxy on it, spray it with a clear coat of acrylic cover. The
Okay.
one I use is Krylon. You can spray it just with a clear coat, and that way it'll seal in the epoxy, or excuse me, it'll seal in the ink right underneath it. So
Okay.
therefore, when you wash it, it won't smear or anything like that.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Questions from anybody? What do y'all think? You think this is something easy for you to do?
This is never easy for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy and it's a money maker. So I don't know if, some of you are just doing crafts for yourself and for your family. So it makes very good gifts, like I said, especially for men, because they don't want all the frilly stuff that we do. But these kind of tumblers, I start out with these at 35 for this size, and then I go up to 40 or 45 for this size. And like I say, they sell very well. I've not had any issues with, selling these kind of tumblers. And if you wanted it to be a little bit darker, you just pour more ink on and go back over it. So you can do 2 layers of this, or you can just keep it at the 1 layer. And then of course, spray it and or put a coat of epoxy on it.
I have to say, Regina, you made that look very easy. Okay.
It is, I'm telling you, it is so easy. It really is. And like I said, you can have it done within 10, 15 minutes, if that, right? Depending upon the size of tumbler that you have that you're working on. And you know how we are. We get in front of the TV and get so horned in on what we're doing because we're watching the TV and listening. We'll have this done within 5 minutes, right? But it is very easy, does not cost you much. So, you buy your ink and you don't use that much ink. I still have a lot of ink in this bottle, and I've been using this ink for other projects too, right? So when I do my alcohol swirls on the epoxy glasses and flasks and things like that. And of course, like I said, with this project, does not use much ink. And so if you have any that has come through in your rim, you can just wash that out, because I have not sealed this yet. So I can just wash this out, right? To wash the ink out. And then you'll want to, like I said, go ahead and seal it to preserve the ink that's on the cup. So either with just spraying it with your crystal clear coat and or using epoxy. And you may even be able to use a clear coat of Mod Podge on it. I just don't know how it will feel after the fact, right? Because normally when we use Mod Podge and stuff, we're putting glitter on or something like that. I just don't know what it would feel like, but that would seal it as well. But I just say stick with either epoxy and or a clear coat to seal your cups. So are there questions about this? Is it other things that you've been dying to do, but you don't know how to do and you want to learn how to do? I will be putting a poll out there just asking if there are different types of things that people are interested in learning that I actually do. I don't mind showing. I will do a lot of things from the blanks that I'm selling on my site. I will do a lot of the before and after, and then taking some of those blanks and doing a press on them, right? So whether it's a cup or car coasters or other types of things, and just one example to show you, I got in some of the car coasters, which they're small, but what I did was I went ahead and put my logo, my emoji logo on them. So, they come, I thought when I first saw them, I was like, oh my God, these things are just too small, but they actually fit inside your car coasters. These are made just for the size of those. And so, you heat press this with your image or whatever design you want. Takes only 60 seconds, to do this. So if there are other kind of things that you're interested in and you just don't know how to do, or, you wanted to always learn, how do they do that? let me know. And if it's something that I do, I don't mind showing, and or I don't mind bringing in others. Some of my sister friends do different things than what I do, right? So I don't mind having sessions on here too for what they do, so that they can show you some different techniques to different things. And also, you know, start loading your projects and stuff, things that you're doing, load to the page for us to see, because a lot of us may not be doing the same things that, you know, all of us are doing, and you can make a sale. So you might want to purchase something that somebody's doing, right? So I don't mind that kind of stuff coming up on the group page. I just ask that you don't try and sell blanks on my blanks page. But if you have finished products, you want to post it, you want to do this kind of stuff and post it out there, post it. Let's try and make sales, right? So I don't want any of y'all's talent to go to waste and not be seen. Because I'm always looking for stuff, and I like to purchase also from, you know, small business owners too, and friends, you know, people that are just starting out. So post away in the group. Let's see what you're doing. And also, let's make some money doing this. Also, right? Because you want to recoup what you've put out also. So are there additional questions from anyone before we end this live, or this video, I should say? No questions? Well, I'm looking forward to seeing your end results. So whatever you do with your tumblers, please post it in the group so I can see your end results. And with that being said, then I will bid you all a farewell, good night, and thank you for joining. And again, too, if you have other questions, you know, as you're going through this, please don't hesitate to reach out. Okay, but y'all have a good night.
Good night.